I've put 71 games on this wheel to answer one question that I had in my life. What did peak gaming really look like? And to answer your question, yes, I only played sports games, Fortnite, and Call of Duty. So we're going to spin the wheel, and then we're going to record our reaction for the first time. Because from a majority of these games, I legitimately have not seen a single thing about them. With games like GTA 5, Last of Us, Walking Dead, the Spider-Mans, and God of War, there was endless possibilities to reach peak gaming. But the one thing I was really hoping for was to get a game that I already owned. I don't have that one. So, let me get the trusty dusty PlayStation controller. And let me see if the game is on sale. If not, then RIP to my bank account. Audible on the play here. Coach is telling me that we should get Watchdog Legions because it's $6 versus $60. And I don't have the subscription. Same game, different price. I hope y'all can understand. So the intro showed that we are DeadSec, a hacking company in London that pretty much uses their abilities to hack for good. It's kind of like Batman, except if you replaced it with Lizard Squad. And we use our hacking devices to pretty much distract enemies, take them down, analyze data, and hijack cameras. The mask hides our identity, and occasionally we let that thing fly. We are then met by an antagonist, Zero Day, who planted bombs around the city of London and tried to frame me like I was a sucker, leaving the city in shambles and wondering to themselves, is DeadSec gonna return? With the first objective being to recruit a construction worker, I went on my high horse, stole a car, and went to go pay him a visit. So tragically sip on a banana like I was in Mario Kart, spin around, hit the construction worker, quickly hit the reset button, and BAM! They were right there again. He told me he didn't want to work with DeadSec until I cleared his name. And honestly, I took that personally. I'm not gonna let another man talk to me like that and test my abilities. Like I'm not the best hacker to ever walk the planet. So I ran over there, I analyzed the perimeter, and only one thing was on my mind. Let that thing fly. Excuse me? So it turns out they want me to use my fist and not my weapon. So while my guy's in the blue medical tent, I'm gonna sub in Queenie from Fast and Furious to do the job for me. We ended up clearing his name and then figured out that Zero Day hired multiple people to help them with the bombings. Predictable. And then our girl Queenie got arrested. And the show must go on. We went to go recover the spider that still had data in it from the event, and honestly, it took me a painfully long time to find a way to get out of this room. And since the game pretty much said you're trash, it corrupted the next about 30 minutes of gameplay. With the next task being to investigate Bloody Mary at Sandstone residence, the game decided to torture me by giving me this extensive puzzle that took me like 5 minutes to complete. But after I finally strung my last 2 brain cells together and figured out this puzzle, we figure out that Bloody Mary is holding these people hostage with customized chips in their head that she can control on her phone to melt their brains whenever she feels like it. But what really is her purpose? Cause Nigel here, who is the leader of the police force that's in this game, pretty much is playing like a dirty cop. And since he wants to be dirty, we need insider information. So meet Rachel, our insider information. She didn't want a lot to be on the recruiting staff, just for us to steal some drugs that her friends got hooked on to cure some illness that they jacked up the prices for. Nothing crazy, pretty standard protocol. But Rachel was the missing piece. She was our insider information. So we had to walk around, make sure nobody noticed us, keep a low profile, just to see what he's up to.
Welcome to Project Themis.
This is like some iRobot stuff. He made a bunch of drones to pretty much do the work of a human. He wanted no mistakes. And in his words,
Themis drones can do what humans have always struggled to. Act.
I know he's not talking about me because I act on everything. Stand on 10 toes. All my 10 toes. Not one toe missing. Shout out to you if you know the reference. Regardless, we've overstayed our welcome and seen some things that we have to report back to HQ. But Rachel was surrounded. She had to make a run for it, or else we may never see her again.
Albion's top secret project is an automated killing machine. And it looks like Cass is almost ready to launch.
I never doubted you for 1 second, Rachel. You just got that dog in you. But now it's time for the most important thing. We gotta steal those schematics. We need to make some of those bots for our sub. After a couple failed attempts, we had to rely on experience to get the job done.
I've downloaded the schematics. You can leave whenever you like.
Excuse me? Hello? Are we good? Oh. Hey, I'm gonna be honest, I was having a lot of technical issues. A lot of my files weren't setting, and I wasn't really having fun with the game. So, speedrun review. This sick individual named Sky Larson used her mother as a science experiment for 30 straight days to analyze neurological brain waves and a bunch of yada yada. That doesn't even matter. She turned her mom into a home AI system and then used that technology to have her own AI system so that she could take over London. But at least we let her mom go down easy, and when she gave us the choice, we took the first opportunity we can to get her eviscerated off the planet. Then we got Richard, which seemed like a cool guy. We rescued him, but I didn't know at the time that he would be a huge part of the 0-day bombings. So we flicked up for the gram, and we met up with Richard to see what was his motive. He led us to Emma, who coincidentally also wanted Richard dead, which doesn't make any sense. Why would Richard want to work with DedSec and Emma at the same time? Regardless, we needed more information on the situation, so we tracked down Emma's car to listen in on a secret conversation she was having.
Just how exactly is any of this under control, Emma?
Because one of them is currently hacking into my car's comm.
Count your days, buddy. We end up getting kidnapped and rescued, and we found out that Richard is working with that Nigel scum from Albion. Sidebar conversation, why did the game make me get rejected during COVID? You seem to tell me that I didn't even have COVID game for this information? We ended up finding a bomb that Richard planted to blow this place up like he did on 0-day. He then started blaming DedSec for the bombings and then started becoming a political figure to be the guy stopping the militia. DedSec wasn't having that. Most importantly, bags. He went into his bag, hacked into his home security system, accessed all of his cameras, everywhere that he owned, everything that he had, and the rest is history. Let's just say Richard is no longer a threat, but he is not dead. We needed him for information. We needed to see why he was doing this. But most importantly, we needed to clear DedSec's name. The person ended up being responsible for this was Sabine, who, if I remember correctly, was also working with DedSec. She was a double agent. We ended up clearing DedSec's name, but it didn't come without a price. RIP to Bags. Psych! He never left. He was just attached to this dude named Bradley, who had to get his memory wiped and had dementia for like 7 years. All this to say is they're definitely making another game, and it probably will be the last one. If they decide to make another one, they are dragging this story or making a whole new character. Overall, my experience with playing at least half of the game was pretty good. The storyline just got boring and very repetitive. At some point, the plot was very predictable. I mean, having multiple people for one big bombing job, really? Come on now. And I don't know. I want to say good things about it, but I truthfully didn't enjoy the game at all. So if you happen to stumble across this video and enjoy your time, please like, subscribe, and share it with somebody else. I'm trying to keep the format the same, like 10 to 15 minutes, and trying to put the whole game in that. But if the game is good, expect like a 20 to 30 minute. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'm gonna go back to watching football and praying that my fantasy football team goes 3-0. If you're in the same predicament, please, I wish you the best. Thank you.